There you go.
Okay.
Just nobody sitting in front of the camera, which is live.
Okay. So. Hi, everybody. Whoops. Oh, my goodness. Look at everybody there. Let's just move the chat right over there. Okay. So, I know that I've lost some of the questions. So if you've asked a question before and you don't see it in the chat, please ask it again. I'm here for you. We've had technical problems, so I'm doing this on my laptop. And right now I'm doing it alone because the producer is dealing with other issues, but I can see your chat. So put your questions right there in the chat, and we're going to get started. First off, I have a comment from Cindy Cowtan, and I hope you're out there, Cindy Cowtan, and you just wanted a general reading, and I'm so happy to give you a general reading. And right now I'm using the Pamela Coleman Smith deck, which is a Rider-Waite-based deck, and it's just attributed to the Pixie herself, Pamela Coleman Smith. So Cindy, let's see your general reading, and I'm going to put down 4 cards: North, East, South, and West. And so the North talks about, you have a lot of reverse cards here. So I know, Cindy, that you're working through some personal issues, and you're probably not waded through them quite yet, because when I look at your North and I look at the current influences, you have the 5 of Swords reversed. And the 5 of Swords is about kind of the toxic emotions, the schadenfreude, I like to use that word a lot, but it's reversed, which means that it's a little more mean-spirited. It's a little less pointless. It's somebody being mean for the sake of being mean, instead of, sometimes people are being mean to prove a point or to win something, but this one is just somebody around you is just being mean for the sake of being mean. And I think you're starting to open your eyes up to how toxic that relationship is, and that's what you're dealing with right now. So when we look at your East, you've got the 8 of Swords reversed. So I think that what we're looking at is a gaslighting kind of situation, because this one is somebody who's saying, well, you can never be free of me. You can never be free of the situation. And you're just starting to realize that, oh, yes, you can. So you're kind of having this epiphany, this open-eyed look at things, and that you can get out of a certain situation and you can get out of a certain relationship. And I think that's pretty good for you, because when we look at what's going on in the South, your passion, the things that motivate you, you've got this card that I call Tribute, and it's one of the bonus cards. And the idea behind this card is, on your way out, you should pay your respects to those that you might not see again. And this is reversed, so it's saying, you've got a situation here that you've got to get out of. Don't worry about saying your goodbyes. Don't worry about closure. Just get out of the situation. And then when we look at the West, which is what is flowing in, you have the Knight of Cups, but you have the Knight of Cups reversed. And this one right here, even though it's reversed, it still reads as somebody new coming into your life. This looks like somebody who's coming into a relationship, maybe somebody who promises more than he can give, but I think his heart's in the right place. So overall, whatever struggle you've got going on, Cindy, it's not going to be too long before you're on the other side of that. Okay, so then I know that Patricia had asked, yes, High Priestess, I see that. Yes, I'm back. Hello, Queen of Swords. And, oh, yeah, there we go, Patricia. And Patricia is, we're going to do her next. And Patricia has has a troublesome time out west. It's that tiger energy. It just really kicks your butt. And right now, she'd just like to know, when am I going to get out of the shelter? So she kind of feels a little trapped, too. So let's just shuffle these cards a little bit and see what the Pixie has to say to you. And again, we're going to do northeast, southwest. Okay, so north, east, south, That's good. And west. All right. So I'm giving a time here because you did want to know about time, and I'm getting between 5 and 9. So I don't think this is too far. Okay. So when we look at your north is telling me. Oh, Cindy, the reading that I just did was for you, honey. That was your reading, Cindy. So if you, you were the very first one that I read on the stream. So your reading, you can, after I'm done, you can, if you've already missed it, you can stop after I'm done, just go back to my channel and replay. Yes, you're right, High Priestess. Okay, so we were looking at Patricia and Patricia's situation, and it starts out with the tribute card. We see that again. So sometimes cards show up again and again and again in a show, and it looks like this is the card that shows up a lot this time. And so Patricia, when your chance to get out of the shelter happens, it's going to happen fast. And it says just don't even look behind you. Just keep on going. So be like Lot's wife once you get the chance to get out. And it does say that when we look at the east, you've got the Hierophant reversed. And so that means that maybe the rules have been working against you, and you might feel like you may have been declined a few opportunities. So you're not. I can see why you're worried about it. But then when I look at your south, where your passion lies, you have the Emperor coming in. And he's got an Easter feel around him. So I think you might still be looking into March, but you do have somebody who's giving you a helping hand. And it feels like, you've been turned down. You are going to get your opportunity. There's somebody here helping you. Okay, so have a little faith. And I did say he had an Easter feel around, but I think it's not going to be that long, because when I look at the West and what's coming in, you've got the 9 of Wands. It's the 9 of Wands reversed. So that tells me that the walls are coming down, obstacles are coming down within a 9. And I'm really pretty sure this is 9 days. Okay, just because you've got some pretty powerful cards, and you have some pretty powerful influences working for you, and it's kind of changing over. Okay, so you might want to knock on some doors that you knocked down before. Okay, so I'm going to change decks here, and I'm going to pick up the Scapini Tarot. It's a very nice tarot. And let's see who's next. Okay, so Patricia, I already gave you a time frame, and I really think I see a 9, so I think we're looking at a 9 days. Sonia, is my finance going to improve? Okay, and I'm just taking you guys in order, and I'm on my own right now because we had a computer crash, and so the producer has to take care of that equipment, and so he's left me to be with my laptop and you good folks on my own. Okay, so yes, Chris, I did get your email and I did see that question. Okay, so Sonia, let's see your financial situation. And I think I'm going to stick with north, east, south, west, because they just seem to kind of work all right. We have, okay, so Sonia, you have the 8 of Wands. So I think that you've got something, here, let me just put these all out. Okay, in your north and your current situation, you've got the 8 of Wands. So your financial situation isn't stagnant, it's active. It's active and it's growing. You see, you got growth here. So, hang in there and have some faith here. Actually, I just don't get this feeling like you're doing as bad as you think you are. Everybody worries about money, but the cards are showing me that your money is growing and you've actually gotten good financial news come in, and this is recent. So you're already headed in the right direction financially. And when I look at your south and your passion, you've got the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords can be a very powerful card of achievement and education and learning, just general learning. And of course, you've got the crown for victory. So I think that it says you've got some new learning skills coming. The thing with the Ace of Swords is sometimes it's about learning and new experiences. So I think this is coming your way too. So you've got a message. You already have an opportunity on your way that you're aware of, and it just requires a little bit of patience and some learning. And when I look at your West and the influences are coming in, you have the Lovers reversed, and even though it's reversed, um, oh, hi, Marcy. Even though it's reversed, it tells me that, it might not come in as fast as you want or be moving as fast as you want. But you've got some good partnerships coming financially. And also I get this feeling like when I look at this card, sometimes I see that little divot right there, and I see it as being kind of a border. And a lot of times I see it between the U.S. and the Canadian border. So look for some opportunities as the let me put this straight. As the United States border opens up, look for that to bring you more opportunity. All right, so let me scroll through here and make sure I get everybody. Okay. It's so nice to see you guys. I hope everybody had a good week. I know I sure did. My producer and I went to the United States to visit our family. It was a good time was had by all. And of course, I got an injury there, but that happens. At least I didn't break any bones. Okay, so, and we are looking at, see, I already looked at Sonia, so who's next? Oh, so here's High Priestess. Okay, so High Priestess says, will C be angry? The court ruled in my favor about taking my daughter on vacation for 3 weeks. I can think of a few words that C stands for. Would that help? So let's see if he'll be angry. But I just get this feeling that you shouldn't worry about whether he's angry or not. Although, I understand when you win a court case, it does feel good to kind of rub the salt in the wounds. But let's just look at the situation. Okay, so do northeast, southwest again. And your north is the Queen of Wands. Ooh, you had a good victory there. And your east, the Hanged Man, you did have to give up something in exchange. So there was a negotiation there. And your south, the Four of Wands reversed. Yeah. It's kind of like that feeling of community and family kind of falling apart. So somebody's being a bit of a drama queen about it. And the the south is the Four of Wands reversed. The west, is the Queen of Swords. So let's look at your north, and your north is your grounding, and that shows you as being the Queen of Wands. So that shows you victorious, and with your little kitten there, right? So this is a good thing, and this is kind of a victory. And when I talked about, reveling in it, yeah, look at where her foot is, right on his head. You are reveling in a little bit. But when you did get the decision, when you did go to court, it wasn't all 100% victory, because you are reminded that the Hanged Man says you got to give a little too. So you may have had to give extra visitation or something on the other end of it, because it wasn't, there was a little bit of a 50-50 there. But still, you look at the South and the passion and the emotionality of it, and there's just this idea of, the family, the community, everything's kind of falling apart. So he might be being a drama queen about time away from the daughter. He'll be okay. He'll get over it. He's a big boy. And then when we look at the West, and this is the way, the flow of things, this has been really, really good for you. And instead of worrying about who is mad, think about what he has done for you and your confidence. The Queen of Wands is fiery and confident. That shows you in victory. But as I move ahead, you turn more into the Queen of Swords, which is a good thing, because you do need to be on your toes, and you do need to call people on their BS. but this victory has given you enough confidence that in future negotiations, you're going to be a little bit more quick on the draw, and you're going to be a little bit more sharp tongued, which will get you more winnings. So whatever you learned in your argument in this court case, put it in a box and keep it in your pocket and pull it out the next time you need it. Because this is going to be the last time you'll have to have a dispute there, right? Okay, and thank you for tuning in. Let's see who's there. I hope can everybody hear me okay? Okay, good. And that was producer from the other room. He's looking in on us. All right, so let's see who's next. We have Sonia. Oh, yeah, I could see Sonia, High Priestess. I'm sorry I took you out of order, but I'm glad I got to you. And then we have Lashika Lamont. Good night, Queen. General reading, please. Oh, Lashika, I would be so glad to give you a general reading. All right, so. And I'm liking the northeast southwest thing, so I'm just going to keep up with it. Your north is 8 of Wands. We've seen that before. But for Lashika, and then your east is the 5 of Wands. Your south is the 2 of Cups. Ooh. And your west is the Ace of Pentacles. Well, Lashika, you sure are headed in a good direction. You know, and I know I've talked about the energies of the Tiger year before. And, you know, when you go from a steel ox to a water tiger, you know those energies are going to be quicker and more hard-hitting, and things are going to happen a lot faster. And I know that we weren't the only ones who had their lives turned upside down. It seems to be the general theme of all tiger years, including this one. And so when I look at your north, you have a lot of activity going on. You've got the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands is all about things moving forward and moving fast. So you'll have time to rest later, Lashika, but right now you got to keep on your toes and keep active. And when I look to your east and the messages and the communications you get, it is about competition. And it is about getting ahead, and it is kind of putting you toe to toe with others around you. I'm just getting really strong that when you're in competition with somebody, you have to keep in mind it is a competition. So that's why you don't do their work. You just do your own and make sure you shine at it, okay? And then when I look at the south, which is your fire, which is your passion, we've got this 2 of Cups. And look at that. You don't even have to be a reader to know, but that's about that is about a passionate relationship anyway, because it shows in the area of fire. So you got something that, you know, I think it's a new relationship, but if it's an existing one, you're going through a honeymoon period because you got some bomb chick going on happening right there. And then when we look at what's coming up, and that's your west, what's flowing in, do you need to even ask? You got the Ace of Pentacles. So you've got opportunity coming up. So no wonder there's competition. That competition has a pretty good prize. So again, make sure they know what a good job you do, and maybe not be so helpful to the slackers, unless you want slackers leapfrogging over you. Okay, so good on you, Lashika. Thank you for tuning in. It's lovely to see you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and stay tuned. We're going to do some we're going to do some pick threes, and we'll be using a different deck today. And also, if anybody wants, I have a segment for the celebrity reading, and I don't have a celebrity in mind right now. So anybody, except for Justin Bieber, I've already done him twice. So if anybody wants a reading on a celebrity, put the celebrity name down there. First person whose celebrity name I see is the celebrity that we'll read. So let's move on. We just got done with Lashika, and there is Grace. And Grace hasn't asked a question. Oh, there we go. What's coming up for me in March? Okay, Grace S. Let's look at March. That starts on Tuesday. They say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. So that makes me wonder, what's weather going to be like on Tuesday? Okay, so Grace asks, whoops, general reading. We're just going to set those cards aside. Ooh, okay, so there it is. I don't even have to go any further than that. Your general reading is laid right out here. It talks about your north being this idea of focusing on work and what you need to do to get ahead. The Three of Pentacles is about honing your skills. It's about learning to collaborate work-wise, and it's learning to plan. And so this is what you should be doing. You need to look ahead and think about the projects and things that you want to achieve between now and the summer, because it feels a little short term here. So it's saying, do your planning now. You're planning your scheming, if you will, but plan and figure out who you want to work with and who you work with the best, and collaborate with them. You have the East, and the East comes in with the Seven of Cups, which is an illusion delusion card, which tells me right now you might be a little all over the map. And this might not be a good time for you to be a little all over the map. So, instead of trying for 5 different things, pick one path and keep with it. Okay? If you need clarity, meditate. But don't let yourself be pulled down every rabbit hole around you. It feels like there's a lot going on and you're being easily distracted. So pick your direction and stay with it. Then when we go to the South, your passion, I worry a little bit about this, Grace, because it's the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords isn't a nice card. And it's usually a card about the word usually it's a card of hurt and devastation, but the word hardship comes my way when I hold this card for you. And I think that you may be focusing in a lot that you've come from, you've had some bad experiences in the past, and you may have even been raised in less than optimal conditions, because it's saying that the hardships and the hurts of your past is impacting your present way too much. And that's substantiated by the idea of your guides telling you pick one direction. And also it's time for you to give your self-esteem a little bit of a boost, because one of the things about this Ten of Swords feels like you don't reach as high as you could, because you kind of carry this dialogue in your head. Sometimes when we aren't treated the best in our childhood, we carry the dialogue of our bullies in our head. And I think you've got that happening, and you need to overcome it. Know that opportunities are put in front of you because you are worthy of them, and you should grab the opportunities that are presented to you, and you have one that will be presented to you over the summer. So this is a good time for you to work with those above you. And don't let yourself be gaslighted. Don't let yourself be led astray by toxic people or toxic feelings. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in. Let's see who's next here. Okay. Sorry for the silence, but I am on my own right now. And Marianne would like a reading for the month of March, and I would be so glad to give you a reading for the month of March, Marianne. Now you got to pardon me. I'm going to shuffle these cards, so it's going to be a little noisy. All right. So, yep, 9 days. All right, Patricia. Okay, so give it just a little one like that. Couple shakes. And here we go. And we are on to Marianne. I'm sorry, Marianne. May I get a reading for the month of March? And the month of March for Marianne. And your north is the Emperor. Your east is the World reversed. Your south is the Ace of Coins, and your west is the Hermit. You've got a really good March. You know, if the universe is going to stir the pot, at least it's stirring it in your direction. You know, so when I look at the north, and this is your grounding, you have got this feels like an authority figure. I don't think it's a boyfriend. I think it's a boss. And I think that you may have forged a better relationship with your boss, or maybe you're a little bit higher up the pyramid right now. But it looks like the influence of somebody, and it is in a leadership position. That's why I think it's a boss. It's kind of building up your ego that you're getting this attention and you're getting this confirmation of your skill set, because it feels like because of the actions of this man, you're feeling more confident coming into the present. And in your east, you have the world, and it's a world reversed. And I'm kind of up in the air with it, which way I like the world better. And here's why: when the world is right side up, you've achieved everything, absolutely everything. When the world's reversed, it says you've almost achieved everything. And I always find that the sweetest moment. Just those last few climbs up the mountain, if you will. So you're close to achieving everything you want, but you still got a little bit more fun there. All right, so we look at your south, your passion, and you have the ace of coins. And that is, you see, it's a money opportunity. You have been working hard on yourself, Marianne, and you do want the chance to move ahead and maybe leapfrog a couple tiers up the ladder. The opportunity will be given to you. All right, so I all you have to do is live up to the opportunity that's handed to you. And when I see the hermit, there's this assurance that even if it feels that it's a little above your head, if you will have mentors to help you learn new positions and take on new responsibilities. And a new position and new responsibilities brings money. And it says that things you've been working for, you've almost achieved them, and you definitely have the person in line to help you. Thank you for tuning in, Marianne. It's so lovely to see you. As a matter of fact, it's so lovely to see all of you. I love seeing you. I love this. I say it over and over again. This is my favorite hour of the week, folks. Okay, so moving on from Marianne, Cindy, High Priestess. Okay, moving on. Whoops. Okay, so there we go. So now we're to Brother Cree Chris. And Brother Cree Chris says, good question for tonight's show. When will our tribes start to notice that changes need to start happening? Well, it is the year of the tiger, and we're coming out of steel energy in 2020 and 2021 into water energy in 2022. Steel kind of sits still and it's heavy and it's hard to move. Water moves easily, so you see it is going to be a lot faster to move things forward. And water has an emotional quality to it, so it's also a good time to move people's hearts and minds one way or another. So then it's a choice of the person doing the influencing. And also, you're going from ox to tiger. So, tigers are action creatures. They don't just sit and do nothing. And right now, one of the things that has gotten us to this spot in our history is all the people and all the governments that sit and do nothing when they should be acting. And we're starting to see things start to happen. We're starting to see governments becoming more proactive. So I have absolute faith that when you look over the next 2 years, which are both water years, and you go from there into a wood year, you are going to find that the tribes will start to come together, and you will find people working together a little bit more, because water is about flow of energy and emotion. But a lot of you always think about water bringing in positive emotions. And I believe that. And so I think there's just this idea that maybe we can make a difference right now. So thank you for asking that. Let's see who else is here. Okay, so the producers says Sally is on her own while I play solitaire. Oh yeah, I'm fixing a crash PC too. Yeah, okay. I hope you win. And High Priestess, did I skip you? No, High Priestess, I didn't. Did I? Did I hit skip, High Priestess? I think I did. Okay, so High Priestess, what was your question? Let me look through here. Yes, yes. High Priestess, so sorry. I'm not sure what your question is, but oh hi. Oops. Hello, Suzanne. Nice to see you. Okay, High Priestess. Let's just see what the cards have to say for you. And I'll do a quick 3-card spread. And this is just in case I didn't get you before. Okay, so overall, you start out with 10 of Cups. That's pretty good. World Reverse and the Knight of Cups. So even though you haven't actually achieved everything you look for yet in home and relationships, you have a positive flow of energy. And the universe says, be patient. Things are coming your way right now. The world reverse is just like you've almost achieved, which, like I said before, I always find that to be a lot more exciting because once you achieve something, well, then you got to think about what the next challenge is. Okay, so, and with the positive cups around you, you have support of friends and family. You have somebody around you who's very sweet, who's there to support you as well. So, High Priestess, you are in a blessed situation. And if you aren't there already, you're well on your way. The flow seems to be all positive here. So you shouldn't worry. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Because, of course, like I always say, you can always screw something up, right? Okay, so okay. SR Kish. Hi, Sally. Big week for me. Return to my main site. Big meetings. And do you see changes coming my way? Anything exciting at my new location? Ooh, new location in and of itself is exciting. All right. So, and we're just going to do a northeast southwest for you. Okay, so, excuse me, let me get a little bit of water, just pardon me. Okay, so I think you need to be a little bit patient. I'll tell you why. When I look at I'm going to focus in on the most negative card. This is a pretty big one, and it's right in the part of fire and passion and what you want. And you have the devil. And the devil is sometimes the devil's mind games we play on ourselves. But with this one, it just feels like you might be trapping yourself a bit. And how should I worry about you missing out on an opportunity because you're being stubborn. Okay. And that's all I'm gonna say because that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're being offered one thing and then it's like move on to this one, move on to this one. You're like, no. I don't want to go left, I want to go right. But we have so much freedom on the left. No, I want to go right. Well, start thinking about changing your course of action. because you're hanging on to too many old thoughts and you're putting too many restrictions on yourself. It's time for you to be a little bit more free about things, because when I look at what's coming in, you've got the Five of Wands, but the Five of Wands reversed. So it's kind of a warning to you. These two cards together are kind of a warning for you to be a little bit clearer. And when those above you suggest a kind of a right turn or change of course for you, be a little bit more receptive to that instead of putting your feet in clay and saying no, 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 no. You don't know everything that's coming up, and you are well liked by those who matter. But it feels like there's some changes coming up that they can't tell anybody about. And it also feels like you've got a little bit of nasty competition. So follow the subtle suggestions of your supervisors. If they're reluctant to send you in a certain direction and want to send you in another, be willing to take that direction. They may be helping you more than you think, because I've read you enough to know that those above you like you a lot. If you ever have problems at work, it's pretty much because you tend to jet forward. And there's those who might feel like you move forward too fast. And you shouldn't feel guilty about that, because the reason you move forward fast is because you do the work. And that's the important thing. You do the work. And that will always be your saving grace, no matter what happens around you. No place wants to get rid of you, because you're hardworking, you're punctual, and you have good organizational and math skills. And those are valuable in any situation. Oh, and people skills too. So you have this basic package of overall administrative skills that can be transferred anywhere. So you're a very versatile person that way. And they're a little worried because you've been unhappy with what they've been putting in front of you. And you really need to understand that whatever they're putting in front of you is for your own good. They actually have you in mind. So don't dig in your heels too much. Be willing to make some of the changes they would like you to make, as far as change of direction and change of job. Okay, so let's see who else we have. Oh, thank you, High Priestess. That's so nice. Okay. Okay, so Patricia. Oh, come on, Patricia. Just get vaccinated. And don't tell me that it's experimental, because it's not. Remember about a decade ago when we had SARS? This vaccine technology was developed back then. So it's already been tried and tested before we even came in. They just dug it back out and adapted it for COVID-19. It's not experimental. Go get your vaccine. I've had all three. I'm fine. Well, except for the third arm, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, folks. Get your vaccine. Okay, so let's see. Oh, the house. Okay, so oh yeah, I don't see it, but the SR Kish, Suzanne. Anyhow, that picture behind you, Sally, to the right, is interesting. That house. I know. I actually found that in Goodwill, and it just attracted my eye. It's something special. It's an original, and it's just so primitive. I love it. One of these days I'll have it appraised. Find out who the artist really is, because it is wonderful. And the door's shaped so it looks almost like there's a shadow there. And I like those kind of things. Okay, so. And I know it does sound a little bit different. We had a really big computer crash. And so we're using my laptop. And, it's just not as good. But it still works, and it still gets me here. New Love. New Love says, hi, general reading, please. I'll tell you, I am more than happy to give it. Oh my goodness, time sure flies when you're having fun. So after New Love, I'm going to do the pick 3. And Divine Oracles commented that David's trumpet is moving a little bit. And this right here, that right there is medium's trumpet I got from David LaForte. And that is to receive energies. And this house definitely has its share of energies. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm not sure whether that's the medium's trumpet I had at the first seance we did, but we had one there and just did the slightest little pings. But it will answer yes, no questions. The producer just lost it at solitaire. We all have to have a pity party for him. I know that's one. Okay, so anyhow, let's do New Love. Did I do? No, I didn't do New Love yet. Sonia, I know you asked about the war, and I will talk about that actually because I asked for a vision. Yeah, okay, thank you, Divine Oracle. So, New Love, general reading. Oh, nice. Okay, so right now you've got the Hanged Man as being in your north, which is your grounding, which is like the basis of what's going on. And with the Hanged Man, as you can see, he's got coinage pouring out. So the Hanged Man is about making worthwhile sacrifices. For example, saving up for the down payment on a house. And why do I say that? Because I look at the East, and in the East, you've got the 10 of coins. And as you can see, there's a castle and there's grounding in the 10 of coins. And the 10 of coins is also about family properties and stuff like that, but it's reversed. So it tells me that you don't have your hands on it right now, but you are making sacrifices. You are saving up for this. And that's a good thing. And I say that's a good thing because you do have somebody, and the 2 of cups is reversed. So there's somebody who's probably not on board with some of your future plans, but he's listening, and I think that you will have a partner here in the not too distant future that's on the same page with what to do abode-wise, if you will. And when I look at the West and what's flowing in for you, I've got the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is directly across from the 10 of coins reversed. So here you already have the concept of something you're doing home-wise. And I really think it's something along the lines of buying a house. It might be getting a condo or just a better apartment, but it just feels like there's something that you're saving and looking for that gives you a little bit more foundation and nicer surrounding. And when I look to the West, it says that whatever you need money-wise, you've done your sacrifices right here. You do have, in the not too distant future, enough coinage in hand to do what you want to do house-wise. So there you go. Thank you for tuning in. And let's see, who else is there? Okay. So I did say, I know I said that we were going to do the pick 3. So, and I'm not going to leave until I have answered all your questions, you guys. And I am going to tell you about my vision of the Ukraine, but I'm going to put it the very last thing. Okay. It's short, but it's intense, which probably describes what happened in Ukraine. Okay. So let's see. We were at pick 3. So, folks, I'm going to pull out something different for pick 3. And these are cards that the producer got brought over from Europe. They're called Gypsy Cards. And I think you'll enjoy them. They're archetypes, so they're talking about kind of people and influences in your life. So let's see what the Gypsy Cards have to say about the influences in your life. We have card number 1, Oops. Card number 2 and card number 3. And everybody make their choices. Did you want card number 1 for this week, card number 2 for this week, or card number 3? And I do notice that I'm kind of moving around too fast. Sorry, I talk with my hands. Okay. Did you pick card number 1? Okay, so card number 1, the main influence in your life, is gold. It's money. This week, there is some money coming your way. You see the purse with the coinage on it. So it looks like you might luck into a little bit of money. It doesn't feel like a fortune, but you're going to have a little bit better news this week about money if you pick number 1. Woo. And then, did you pick card number 2 like Sonia and Suzanne did? Well, if you did, then the influence for this week, whoops, got it upside down, is baby or bambino. So this is a good week for new beginnings, for projects of the heart, if you will, because that's what a baby's all about, right? But it doesn't mean that everybody that picked number 2 is going to have a baby. Although there might be 1 or 2 of you out there that will. But most of all, this week it talks about starting something new and starting a labor of love. They say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So this week, do what feeds your heart. Did you pick number 3? Okay, so if you pick number 3, your card is the officer. See how he's standing so firm and rigid? This is a good week for you to follow the rules and do what's expected of you. Sometimes it's good for us to be creative and original and just let our freak flag fly. But this week for you number 3s, this is a week for you to toe the line. Sometimes they'll say keep your head down and your nose to the grindstone. This is a week for you to keep your head down and your nose to the grindstone. Whatever problems are happening around you are not your problems. Don't let them be your problems. Okay, so thank you very much for that. And on with the readings. Remember to stay tuned in because at the end of the show, I will tell you about my vision about the situation in Ukraine. And also, does anybody, I know that the past few weeks I've been doing celebrity readings and I still haven't seen the name of a celebrity. And no, I'm not going to do Justin Bieber again. But give me the if you want to see a celebrity, give me the name of the celebrity and I'll look at it. And on with the show, folks. And I'm going to go back to my Pamela Coleman Smith deck. And Divine Oracle Reading says, at work today, we all had a staff meeting, but when we went into groups, there was a lot of info not addressed to me. Does it show the bosses I know my stuff? Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Whoops. Okay, and they just fly out. Okay, so it starts out with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands shows a bit of a delayed opportunity. I think that their focus was on something else. And maybe it's a good thing that you weren't in the spotlight. Because when I look at what else it means, it does talk about, they are going to be moving some people on. So again, it's kind of a good thing that you weren't the center of attention of this meeting. Because this meeting was about solving some problems. And you weren't one of the problems. Sometimes that's a good thing. We don't always want to be in the limelight. And last but not least, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which tells you you're okay. You're okay. Take a deep breath. Relax. You like where you're at. You like who you work for. Enjoy the now. Enjoy where you're at. It's all going to be okay. You are on a good path. Today's meeting did not have anything to do with you. Okay, so let's see. Now we will move on to Aqua Yazzie. All right, Aqua Yazzie says, hey, hope you're well. May I have a love reading? I'm single. Wow. Let's see if that's going to last. A love reading for Yazzie. Now, this is a good year to find new love because you've got a water. Water is flowing emotions, and you also have the tiger energy. And the tiger energy is about going after what you want. So with with the energies the way they are, it's going to be a little easier to get out there and find somebody. So the winds of change are just blowing all around us. All right, so let's do a northeast southwest for Aqua Yazzie and relationships. All right, so in your north, you've got the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands, it's a wedding scene. So it says that even though you would like to build this family and community, it hasn't happened yet. But this is a really positive card. So what your vision is of family and community and relationship, you're on the right track. So there's a good starting point here. You know what you're looking for. Which means if you start going out with somebody whose vision is not the same as yours, send them on their way. It'll save you both some trouble. Okay, so when you come in on the east, you have strength, but you have strength reversed. And strength is about getting on top of a situation. It's also about confidence. And the strength card is kind of saying you might be putting a little bit too much of your self-image on whether or not you're single. Okay, so whoever's in your bed or by your side is not you. So don't build your ego or your self-esteem on who may or may not be in your life. Relationships are wonderful to have, but the lack of a relationship does not say anything about you other than you're single, and you're hoping that somebody will introduce you to their doctor nephew. Okay, so in the South, you've got the Five of Wands, which is it's friendly competition, but it's the idea of boys playing together with sticks. And you see they're swinging them all over the place, not really hitting at each other with them, but it is that idea of friendly competition. Sometimes you have that in friendship circles or family circles, and sometimes friends and family don't realize how hard they hit. And I think there might be some people that are kind of saying pointed things to you, which goes back to why it's so blinking important to you and your own self-image. But let's see where you're headed with this all. Yes. Okay, so you have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands reversed. So it feels like you're going to go through another season before you actually find somebody suitable. And it's saying don't go too far with somebody who's not suitable. The card itself, I just get this feeling of rain. I know we're going to have a rainy spring. So it's kind of like once all these rains in spring stop, that's when you're going to find somebody. So we might be looking about mid to late April. So I think we're going to have a very, very rainy May. Okay, so thank you for tuning in, Aqua Yazzie. It's wonderful to see you. It's wonderful to see all of you. Okay, so what's next? Oh, is Sonia, like I said, and we're probably getting close to the end of the chats. I'm going to answer everybody's question, and then I am going to tell you about my Ukraine vision. Whoops. So, do we have anybody else? Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Maybe I will win $10 on the lottery. Hey, $10 you didn't have before. Alex Baldwin. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I have. Oh yeah, and Divine Oracle reads says the Queen and Alex Baldwin. Oh yeah, I said when you said the Queen, I thought you were talking about me. Okay, so one more, and then we'll look at. I'll actually give you two for. We'll look at the Queen, and we will look at Alex Baldwin. I feel bad that we had the crash. We had the late start, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a bonus there. Okay, so IH716 says, can I have a general reading, please? Okay, so I'll give you a northeast, southwest here. And you're north. You've got the Queen of Swords, but it's Queen of Swords reversed. So I'm worried a little bit about what's going on and some of the toxic situations around you. I worry that you might be tolerating liars. And that's always a bad thing to do because liars are always disrespectful. You know, nobody lies by accident. So it's really not something you should tolerate. Lies are a deal breaker for me, and I think they should be for everybody. But right now you're kind of sorting out some pretty serious stuff. And the East, the message from the East, you've got the King of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like you might be coming into a situation with a little bit of deception around you. And some of the deception is about the money and how deep the pockets around you are. So don't necessarily believe work when they say they don't have money enough to give you a raise. So we'll look at your west, your south, your fire, your passion. And your south, your fire, your passion has to do with Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is about coping with loss. The loss has already happened. So I think you've already had a setback, which makes sense because you've been dealing with deceptive people and you've been lied to about money. So you're feeling like you're feeling the sense of loss. You're focusing in on the loss of trust, the loss of opportunity, and the loss of respect. And what this card tells you is even though you have had loss, there's two left. So you have something to build on and something to move forward. But you have gone with you have gone through some major changes in your life. We're going to look at what's flowing into your life. And you have the Ten of Cups. So I do see that over the next 10 months, things are going to get slowly but surely better for you. And it feels like you'll be more able to make future plans. So don't worry on what you've lost. The universe is saying whatever's left in front of you, you've been left with just enough to move forward. So take inventory of what you have, know that it's enough to move forward, and move forward because there's something a lot more positive ahead of you than what's around you right now. I think you may have some toxic, at least one toxic person in your life that you need to weed out. Okay, so celebrity readings. Let's see. Should I read Alex or the Queen? Well, you know what? I'm going to end up the week with the Queen. So we're going to read Alex Baldwin first. And before I get started, I want to remind everybody about the upcoming tarot retreat. It's coming real close. Please make sure that you either call the Queens at 519-271-1400 to reserve your place in this weekend's retreat. There are some spots open. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just a total day and a half of focusing on the tarot and psychic development and working together as a group. We start out with working on psychic development and we do a little classroom time, and then we on Saturday night we're going to have a nice pajama party. We're just going to kind of play with our tarot and get a feel for the cards. And then Sunday is all practical application. I'll be showing you some advanced spreads. This package deal includes your accommodations and includes 4 meals, 2 lunches, a breakfast, and a dinner. So give the Queens Inn a call at 519-271-1400 to book your tarot retreat package this weekend. Also, I want to remind anybody who wants to see me for a reading, call the spa near the tracks. You can see me in person there at 519-272-1293. And onward to the celebrity readings. Again, let's start with Alex Baldwin. And a reminder, after I do the celebrity readings, I will be telling you about my Ukraine vision. Okay, so Alex Baldwin first. And I know that he's had a rough year. He's had that he had that gun incident, and it's hard when you have a life on your conscience and your soul over an accident. So let's see what's happening with him. So first off, you've got the King of Cups, and that's showing who he is as a person. First off, he will never, ever really 100% get over this. The woman that was killed was a dear, dear friend to him. He felt like he felt like a mentor to her. So to him, it's almost like he lost a daughter. And plus that, some people are not being real nice about it. Then we look at the East as far as the messages that came in and what's brought him to this point. You have the Knight of Wands, and this looks like somebody else, because I see Alex Baldwin here and who he is as a loving individual. I do see him as, I have a lot of respect for Alex Baldwin. But then you've got this Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is he's not a bad guy. He really isn't. He's a little passionate, and just like most of the knights, he can get easily carried away, and that's what feels like it happened here. So there's a secondary player who has somehow been duped, and, because there was that gun on the set, and that was I think I really and truly believe that was a plan, especially when it shows it right here. You've got the knight that like I said, misguided, if you will. And there's, when I see the wand, when I see the stick in his hand, I really see that as being the pistol. And he may not have even known it was a real loaded pistol, but there was somebody who was kind of duped into putting that particular pistol in that particular place. So when we look at the South, the passion of the whole thing, you've got the Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, and this tells me that this was over spite. And this was over a woman. And actually, it makes me wonder if it was a little bit more pointed than that. But I'm going to leave it at whoever did this, it was out of spite or a situation involving a woman. And when we look at the West, as far as what's coming in, what messages are coming his way, you've got the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is about worry and anxiety, the kind of worry and anxiety you have for somebody else. And if he doesn't physically go to her grave and weep, he goes there mentally, but he still weeps for her. He still mourns her. And I think that there are going to be some repercussions that he's going to have to face up to. But in his mind's eye, whatever fines he has, even if he has to do jail time or probation, that pales in comparison to the hole in his heart left by the loss of his friend. So that's Alex Baldwin. I feel real sorry for the guy. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair what happened to him, and it was an accident. keep in mind, this is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm so very entertaining. Okay, so finally, let's look at the Queen. All right, so two things came over with the Queen, flew out, and you've got the Sun and the Page of Pentacles, and this is about Charles. So she's basically already setting him up to be the next King of England, and she knows her time is short, and it's kind of, she is very proud of Charles, and she holds him on a high pedestal, and she is so confident in him as the next King of England. And so basically right now, she just looks to spend the rest of her days getting Charles ready to be king. So let's look at her northeast, southwest. I'd like to see the Queen around for a couple more years. How about you? Okay, so the Queen's northeast, southwest. She dearly misses Philip. So, and of course, you've got the Two of Cups. And that's the hardest part of being the Queen, because she's a queen alone right now. And she misses Philip. She mourns him. She thinks about him all the time. She's basically counting the days till she's with him. She misses him so very much. And the message is coming her way. You've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've seen that a lot. So I think that generally it may be telling us that generally in the economy we are going to find money flowing a little bit more. And with her, this looks like she's kind of divvying up her inheritance and looking at the money and looking at the size of her fortune and how much will be given to charity. Just like that divvying up. But she's looking over her family. Most of the people in her family are rich in their own right. So I think that the huge fortune that she has, she's thinking about what the best thing to do for her to do with it for the world. So she's thinking beyond her family there. Then when we look at the South, which is her passion, what feeds her heart. Again, you've got her glory boy. You've got Charles. She's right now she's just so proud that her son is going to be the King of England, which I know sounds weird because she's the Queen of England, but all her life she kept calling the next king. So this is kind of like a changing of the guard. She's ready. She's more than ready for it. I'd like to see her around a little bit because I really like the Queen, but she's kind of ready for the next phase of her existence, if we will. And then when we look at the West and what's coming in, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh. Yeah. You have the Lovers, and it's the reading started out with how much she misses Philip, and how it is what it is. She loves him, and it's hard for her to live without him. And when she passes, which will not be too soon, keep in mind this is for entertainment purposes only, but it shows that the next phase of her life, meeting back up with the angels, with her beloved. So overall, she's winding up her life and getting the next generation ready. And when you look at Charles, it's hard to think of him as being the younger generation, but in her eyes, he is. Okay, so let's see, does anybody else need? Okay, so I know I promised you that I would tell you about my vision for the Ukraine. So here it is. And I think you guys remember that when Trump first entered office, I asked my guides, just show me how this is going to end. And I got a picture of the White House at night. Very bizarre, very quiet, and just it's there's flashing lights around, but it's so quiet you can actually hear the motors of the flashing lights. Well, of course it was, because in the end, the riot and the activity was at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, and the White House was on its own and quiet, and probably very quiet with what was going on. I would imagine there were a lot of people in stunned silence. So anyhow, with the stuff going on in Russia, this is big, and I know it's big. So I asked my guides to send me a vision, and they did. And it's just as cryptic as the last one was. So they showed me a map of Ukraine, and it was a really basic, just the outline of the country. And there was half of it was white and half of it was black. And the border between the white and the black, was actually ran along a river that goes from Kiev down to Crimea. And the side to the east of the river was pitch black, and the side to the right of the river was white, and of course black outline. And the third thing about this was that the map itself was flipped over, was reversed. So the east was on the west was on the east, kind of thing. And that was my vision. And I got, when I looked at it, I had this feeling that the dark spot was an impenetrable zone of some sort, that something had been done, that for some reason that was impenetrable. That's just the word I'm going to use. I know it's real cryptic, but that was the vision I got. And so over the next few weeks, I'm sure I'll do a few readings, but I'm throwing that out there as my first impression. And anybody who would want to, and we're going to close it out now. If you want to come and see me, give the spot at the tracks a call, 519-272-1293. If you want an online reading, if you're not in Stratford, Ontario, but somewhere else in the world, I could still give you a reading. Just send me an email at thequeenofoogaboga@gmail.com, and I will respond, and we'll set something else up. And again, I'd like you all to call the Queens in, 519-271-1400, to book your spot at the Tarot Retreat this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come in with a willingness to learn and come out able to read the tarot for family and friends, and have a bunch of fun with the Queen. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tolerating our technical difficulties. And I'll see you next week here on Psychic Sundays Live, 9 o'clock Eastern, at the Queen of Ooga Booga's channel. Have a great week. Bye-bye.